Hey guys, welcome to another pedal demo. I've done a lot of demos in this t-shirt now, but it's a good t-shirt. I went to go see Ryan in Leeds the other week and he was brilliant. That's all I got to say on the matter. He's a great songwriter and a great performer, so I really enjoyed the show. Thanks Ryan, and shout out to him because he's a big pedal nerd as well. He's got some crazy tones going on, and those Benson amps he uses they shift some air, I'll tell you that for sure. They sound mega. Anyway, today's video is the Fuzzrocious Feed Me. I have no idea what this pedal does. I mean, it's kind of crazy. This thing is a preamp EQ thing. But it's not like any EQ pedal you've ever seen before in your life. Basically, we have volume, tone, self-explanatory. Then we have four clicky switches. They basically select different resistors and capacitors that in turn activates different high and low pass filters. Man, I mean, this is one of those pedals that you've really got to learn. You can go and tweak to your heart's galore, but there's over 20,000 different combinations. Each clicky knob has 12 different settings, so this would take forever to go through every setting and find one that you liked. So, Fuzzrocious, I believe this pedal started out as the tone circuit, the tone section stack from a Big Muff pedal, or their version of a Big Muff pedal. So basically you can get the tone stack circuit from loads of pedals. If you go on their website, it tells you tone stack from Big Muff, tone stack from overdrive pedal number 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. You can make this sound like a clean tube screamer if you wanted to. I think the best thing to do is show you what it does. Unlike a lot of my pedal videos, I show you what the pedal sounds like on its own. This pedal you need to hear what it sounds like with other pedals, because it reacts completely differently to wherever you put it in the chain. You can make a clon sound like anything you like, basically. You could, for example, give my clon a Big Muff tone stack, if you wanted to. I don't know, do you want to? It's a cool pedal and I like it. I like the vibe that it's got going on, because I don't know what it does, and I could put the knobs anywhere and it sound exactly the same as it did before, or completely different. So, the Fuzzrocious Feed Me. They make awesome pedals, and this is just another one of their weird, crazy pedals. So yeah, let's go for it. Fuzzrocious Feed Me. And I hope you enjoy the video, and I hope you go check out some more videos as well. And please subscribe. See you in the next video. We're set up now with the board and the Feed Me. I've had some time to run through a few sounds and write down a few different combinations of stuff. So let's flick to the pedalboard cam. As you can see, the Feed Me is down in the bottom here. I've set the board up so basically the Feed Me is right in the middle of everything, basically. So as you can see, everything is at 12 o'clock or 1 on the rotary switches, so it should sound pretty transparent. Here's my clean sound. We're going the Music Man into the pedalboard and then into the Victory. Here we go. Let's go with the Feed Me at everything at noon, basically. So there's a little bit of volume boost there. Other than that, I don't think there's much. Let's have a listen. There might be something in the lower mids, maybe, that is boosting a little bit, but that's as normal as this pedal gets. Let's just sweep the tone control so you can hear what that does for the time being. So as you can hear, it's pretty usable all the way down. All the way down, actually. It's actually really nice. It thickens up nicely when the tone is rolled off. Up at the top it gets really spiky as well, which is good for cutting through a mix. Right, so far we've just seen what it sounds like, everything, all the rotary switches at 1 o'clock. I've written down a few different combinations, so let's go with, some of these are my own, and then some of these are what I got off their kind of catalogue of different sounds. This one is called My Tubes Won't Scream, so basically it should sound like the tone stack of a tube screamer. So we're expecting a bass roll off and a mid hump. So let's give that a go. Okay, so I've set up the My Tubes Won't Scream clean sound, and then the feed me. So the mid hump is obvious, the bass roll off is not as obvious. Maybe a bit of a bass roll off. What I'm really interested to see is how that reacts after the shipwreck. So here's the shipwreck, which is kind of like an ampy style overdrive from Jellyfish Electronics. There should already be a demo on the channel if you want to go check that out, but here's the shipwreck. So it's almost borderline fuzz there. Let's see what that sounds like with the feed me as well. So okay, that's where you can really hear the bass roll off on the mid hump. That's actually a really nice combination. I like that a lot. So let's go with shipwreck on its own. So there you get ampy, fuzz, breakup, and then with the, you want your solo or you want to cut through a bit more, here we go. Yeah, that's one tasty tone. So you've heard what it sounds like after an overdrive. Let's see what it sounds like before the Archer, which is a clon. You know what it is like. Which is already a mid humpy pedal. The clon, as we all know, has the mid hump, not as drastic as a tube screamer, and it doesn't have as much of a bass roll off. So let's see what the feed me set up as a tube screamer that sounds like before the clon. Here's the clon on its own. And then with the feed me. So as you can hear, when the feed me is before a pedal, it doesn't change the characteristic of the pedal. In this case, it adds a bit of sparkle. That's what I think. It still sounds like a clon, but it's got a bit more it's got a bit more top end, and the mids are pushed even more. That is My Tubes Won't Scream, so tube screamer style. Next we're going to go on to, this is the replicate the tone stack from a triangular fuzz. So like a old Russian big muff sort of thing. So we're expecting a big mid scoop. Those big muffs have a mid scoop. So let's see what that sounds like. Okay, so we've changed the controls on the old feed me. So like I said before, this is going to sound like the tone stack of a big muff, but with no fuzz, which is kind of a weird thing if you think about it. It sounds like a big muff, but with no fuzz. So clean sound. It's a lot more transparent than I was expecting. There is a slight mid cut, but as we found out before, it sounds crazy different when you put it with other pedals. So let's put it with a fuzz pedal. Let's put it with the KO Sound Fuzz, which is one of my favourite fuzz pedals at the moment. Sounds like this. Here's the feed me. Okay, so now we can really hear that mid scoop. It's also made it sound a bit more amp-like, I think. So here's the KO sound again. Here's the feed me. Definite mid scoop in there, and I think it sounds a bit more amp-like. So the next one on here is also one that's off their kind of catalogue of sounds. This is called Bobby Loves Low Mids. It's one of my favourites. I think low mids are really important in a sound. It just adds a bit more grunt and a bit. That's what you hear with thickness, because sometimes bass can get too much, get too flabby, so low mids often provides that kind of faux bassy sound, I think. So let's dial it in. So like I said, this is one of my favourite settings on the feed me. I'm going to leave the volume and tone where they are, because those are kind of for tweaking for your rig. When they're at 12 o'clock, for me this works nicely. Here's the Bobby Loves Low Mids, man. Let's give you the clean sound. So just feed me. Yeah, this is one of my favourite sounds out the feed me. As you can hear, like I said, it gives that kind of faux bass sound, but it's not too flabby. It's just that low mids. It gives more chunk to your sound. It's one of those sounds that you just don't want to turn off. See, this is going to work with clean and dirty sounds. So let's hear what it sounds like with the shipwreck, which is already pretty heavy in the low mid section. Let's hear the shipwreck again. Okay, sounds lovely. Let's try it with the feed me. I don't know what this is going to sound like. Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds really, really nice. I'm interested to see what this sounds like with the... Actually, let's try it with the Octafuzz. The Octafuzz is interesting because you really have to play it with another pedal to make it sound good. So here's the Octafuzz. So as you can hear, it's kind of pretty focused in where its frequency is. So let's try it with the feed me. Yeah, man, that's such a great setting. Just out of interest, what does it sound like with the Archer after it? That's really gonna, that's really gonna make your rhythm sound cut through a mix. Not gonna be so great for making your leads cut through a mix per se. I think that's really focused on guys who like to play rhythm, have chunky rhythm. sounds, clean or dirty. Yeah, let's move on. And let me clean my glasses. I got smudge on them, and it's, you know, when you get smudge on your glasses. And okay, so next we have the opposite of what we just had. So now we've got a low mid scoop. Okay, so we have low mid scoop on. Let's give you like one of those kind of stratty in between sounds, because they're pretty scoopy on the mids anyway. So okay, so let's try the low mid scoop. Oh, let's boost the volume on this one so you can hear what's going on. So this is basically scooped lots. This kind of sounds like it's scooped everything below the low mids. There's actually not much other than treble there. Okay, fine. I think this is going to be useful for those guys who like to do some more lo-fi stuff, maybe some more ambient stuff. In fact, let's see what that sounds like with some delay and reverb. You know, I reckon that's going to be great if you're building loops and you want to layer effects. Let's put on some big ass delay and reverb. Let's see what this sounds like. So without the feed me. Okay, let's sound what the feed me. Okay. I personally don't have a use for that sound, but I can see if, like I said, if you're building loops, if you're trying to layer a sound with lots of reverb and delay, that sound might come in handy. I don't know, it's not my cup of tea, but let's move on. So next we have a 1 kilohertz boost, so it's going to boost that region of 1 kilohertz. Yeah, let's see what this sounds like. I think this one is going to be good for your solos, for your lead guys who want to cut through but maybe are not a fan of boosts, because sometimes boosts can be uncontrollable and they give you so much more headroom. This is 1 kilohertz boost. Let's see what this sounds like. Here's my clean sound yet again. And then the feed me. I think this is going to be really useful with a gainy sound. So let's hit on the shipwreck again. Here's the shipwreck. Feed me. So yeah, that's really going to help you cut through on a band mix. Sounds great on rhythm as well, but that's really if you're using it for boost, gain. I think that's where it sounds best. Okay, so next we're going to go on to my own setting. It's kind of the setting that I use most of the time. It's kind of similar to the Bobby Loves Mids. Let's have a look. Wow. I don't know, maybe it's not that similar. But Bobby Loves Mids and this one are my two favourite sounds. This one is more probably upper mids and treble. It just gives you that little sparkle, really subtle, and you know, when this is on my board, I pretty much leave it on all the time. So let's dial it in. Let's see what this sounds like. Here we go. Feed me. So as you can hear, we're getting more sparkle. I don't know how to actually explain it. There's just a bit more clarity in your playing. So again, without it, with it. Really works great with a clean sound, but it's also going to work great with a dirty sound. So let's bring the gain down on the shipwreck and let's see what it sounds like after the shipwreck. Here's the shipwreck. How many times am I going to say shipwreck? Feed me. So, you know, it's just that extra little thing on the top end, I think that's where it is, that setting is providing you. But as you can see from the video, that this is a really powerful tone tool. Use it in good ways or bad ways, I suppose. Well, good or bad is subjective, but you know, not every sound is going to work for everyone at all. You really got to spend your time with it, and don't be worried that you don't know what you're doing with it. If you get this pedal, I would recommend starting off with the library of effects that they've got and watch some other videos of some other guys using it and see what they're doing with it. But all said and done, when you find your setting, you know, the setting like this setting for me, you ain't going to want to turn it off. So it's a kind of a problem really, because I'm not sure how I feel about the always on pedal. That's another video another time, but this is a great pedal. I still don't really know what I'm doing with it. I just twiddle knobs for a few hours, and that's where it got me. Yeah, and we didn't really delve into the volume and tone knobs. We did a bit, but there you go. The Fuzzrocious Feed Me. I would really recommend you go trying one out. In fact, it's probably better to buy one and spend some time with it. If you're interested in some sort of EQ pedal, this is a really great one. The audio quality is really high quality. So I would recommend buying one. If you don't get along with it, flog it, man. Sell it again. It's not a big deal. But I reckon if you spend some time with it, you're going to find a sound that you love, and you ain't going to want to turn it off. So there's my recommendation, the Fuzzrocious Feed Me. A great pedal if you spend the time with it. So yeah, thanks for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Cheers.